Hey guys, so we'll be doing a quick TA on IIPR. It's actually last time we actually did a video on this for a TA. I did call the jump from back like I think it was like back from 120ish, I think, all the way to 165. So we last time we did TA, it was around this level right here, and then it called it for the jump and then another jump, right? So as always, let's start by actually putting our price zones, right? That's usually how we start everything. That's what we're gonna do now. That's how we've done it like always. So that's we're gonna start doing it. You can use this little dot as like reference of where I'm actually putting all the price zones. I think because IIPR has been live for a while, I think we can do weekly. We can do weekly price zones. We can probably, yeah, I think we can do weeklies, just to kind of get like a better understanding of where price is going, can go, and what exactly is happening, right? So we'll go with the week. We'll set price zones for a week because this has been moving so much. You guys already know that I usually, oh, I'm in the bathroom right now too. So if you guys hear like, me making noises, that's just like, you know what I mean, right? But you guys already know how I set my price zones. I don't like to toot my own horn, but I do think that I set my this is how somebody should actually set their resistance and support lines, right? So I set them at the wicks, and I set them where there's a lot of not necessarily where there's a lot of noise on the wick side, right? So you guys can see here, I will set them where there's the most wicks, and this is the first one. This area right here, this is where the first price zone is going to be. You guys can see there was a lot of resistance, a lot of movement there. Let's set the other one. We'll actually set this one right here because there's a lot of movement in this area. We'll do it like right here in the middle, just because there's a bunch of wicks right there, right? Sorry about that. I keep accidentally double tapping everything. But another one, we can set it right. Let me see. Another place to set it would be right maybe here. I think this will probably be another zone for, support and resistance. We'll have another one. Remember we're trying to do this where there's a bunch of noise or where there's a lot of wicks kind of touching. So we'll put another one there just because you guys can see that there's, it's touching this one here, and this candle right there, right? So we'll set it right there. We'll have another one. We'll start from the bottom and we'll probably match it to this one, this wick right here, probably these two wicks, and then this one and maybe this wick right here. So let's do that. Let's see if we can get it like somewhere close to hit all of these candles. But so you don't want to hit this one because then you overextend this wick right here. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna set it right. We'll do it right there because that's where it's actually touching the most wicks for the whole thing, right? I don't think we should put any more because I doubt that it's gonna fall. I doubt that IIPR will fall all the way down here. So I don't think we need to keep setting up wicks. But if we were, I would have probably put one right here where these two candles actually touch, where there's the wicks right there. So I would have probably put a price zone right there. And then I would have probably put another one like right here, just because you guys can see that zone of price and support, right? It's gonna probably, if it does go down, it'll probably hit that. But I mean, we're not bearish on this at all, right? So let's go in back to the daily chart. As of right now, it's extremely bullish, right? So on the week, we can see the MACD actually, it's been hitting multiple times. On the week, it actually hit. So let me see if I can do it here, right? So on the MACD on the bottom, you guys can see that on the week chart, it's been bullish for an extremely long while. Whenever it actually tried to break. So you guys can see this area right here on the MACD, the very bottom indicator. You guys can see that it tried to break on the bearish side, but it couldn't, right? It actually ricocheted. It didn't even actually bounce off of that. It was maybe bearish for one day, and then for a week, and then it just shot right back up. But the way that we do things here is we try to forecast price dependent on what the previous like run-ups were, right? So as of right now, for the week, we are bullish, but the last time we were around this area and we hit like a bullish stride, we were back. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell, right? We were back way far back. So I don't think we'll be able to actually tell. In this case, we'd actually have to use fibs because we don't know. There isn't actually any previous history of how this actually happened, right? So we have to use fibs in order to actually get a good sentiment of where certain stuff is going. So in this case, I'd probably use a fib retracement. I would go from the relative high, which is actually this candle right here, and to the relative low, which is actually that candle right there. But we want to actually see where price is going. So we'll do relative high, relative low, which is about right there. And we will see that, you know, as of right now, we are headed probably, let me see if I can extend this a little bit more to the right. So it looks like we are headed all the way up to the maybe, let me see, the next stop. Let me see if I can do this. So the next area of support might probably be the 197 area, strictly because of, man, why did I move this, bro? Like, that's good right there. I don't want to touch that anymore. But, I mean, as you guys can see, the next area, we're probably going to be headed towards the 197 area. That's more than likely going to be our next stop. If I were to be using, you know, if I were to actually be using the day supports, which I probably will right now because we do see a bunch of resistance, I'd probably set one, not here because we already have one. I'd probably set one right here in the middle. I'd set another line of resistance or support right here too as well, right in the middle. So, you know, at this point, man, why I keep moving this, man. I hate that this happens like that. So at this point, so as you guys can see right now at this point, it does look like we're straight bullish and we are headed towards the 197 area. We did create resistance or support actually on the 183 level area. If we do consolidate, it's probably going to consolidate between 193 and 197. If we do not break the 197 level, we're probably headed back down to 183, and depending on how bearish we are, the momentum, it's going to go back down to 170 and then kind of continue to go back down, right? The only worry that I have here is there's a huge gap around the $140 area. I don't know if you guys can see that middle green line right there. There's a huge gap right there, right? So that's my only worry. That's the only worry I have. But as of right now, I'm extremely bullish. There's no reason to be, you know, bearish on IIPR. I'm like 85, 90% sure we're going to hit that 197 level area. I mean, on the 4 hour, we're extremely bullish right now. Yeah, there's no reason for us to go any lower. On the 1 hour chart, we actually just, you know what? On the 1 hour, we actually just crossed on the bearish side. But as you guys can see, like for the last couple of days or so, or even hours, every single cross on the 1 hour has been weak. So, I mean, it hasn't mattered, right? So there's a big chance that on the 1 hour cross right now, it's not really going to do anything. It might trade sideways, but at this point, if it does hit 183, I'd probably buy calls for IIPR if you guys are playing options, right? And even you guys can see right here, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger, but you guys can see that red, it was bearish for like a day and then automatically switched back to being on the bullish side. So if anything, I do think that this will trade, maybe it might hit 183, but I don't think so. I think after the 1 hour side, after this gets crossed over and then it hits back on the green side for the bearish on the 1 hour MACD, I do think we're going to shoot all the way up to 197. I'm 100% bullish on IIPR. If you guys want to buy stocks, I'm in it, or, you know, call options or whatever, I'd strongly recommend waiting for this 1 hour to actually break lower on the bearish side. And then once it actually hits on the bullish side, I'd recommend buying calls all the way, 100%. You know, I think that's how it's going to play out. You know, I don't see it playing out any other way. Usually on these run-ups like this, they do tend to last sort of similar to the ones before. But like I said, it hasn't been at this level. It is kind of on a super high bullish trend, right? So if I had to guess where we're actually going or where it's actually going to stop, like the momentum's actually going to stop on average, I mean, I try to forecast it, right? So I try to forecast where I think it could possibly go. So let me see if I can find my forecast tool. Man, TradingView just had a new, what is it called? TradingView just had a new update, which kind of changed everything for me, and it's kind of hard to work with it, right? But just kind of chill with me, right? So last time it hit a really good run. It did that on the day chart. It did a 47% increase. So it did a 53-point increase from from the bottom to the top. If we have the same kind of forecast for right now, where's my forecast? Here we go. So we have the same thing, right? From the lows to the highs, a 53 at a 47% increase, right? So 47 is going to be up here, or maybe a 53 point. Yeah, so we do 53 points. It's going to be around the same. It's going to be around that 187 level, right? So it's going to be here. So we do exactly 53. It might actually end up hitting exactly that 197, like around that area. See, 199. So, yeah, I mean it's a pretty good run up, right? Like the forecast here seems like it might actually hit. As of right now, 100% bullish on IIPR. If you guys are gonna buy calls or anything else, I would wait for this 1 hour chart to actually kind of to break a little bit less on the bearish side. So wait till it actually breaks, which it actually did. It just broke right now. Wait till it actually gives you that MACD bullish signal, and then purchase options, and then for calls or whatever you want, and then let it ride to 197. But as of right now, 100%, I do think IIPR is on the rise to 197. There's no reason why it wouldn't. Calls, I think, is easy money. Shares, I think, is easy money. They just increased their dividend too. So I do think that right now is a perfect time for IIPR. I'll see you guys later.